Right everyone, welcome back to another video. We're taking another look at this hybrid lower. I was hoping to cover more about the MP9 one, but I just can't get it working quite right yet, so I'm just going to play about with it and see if I can figure out what it is. But we did one to this G5. The only problem, which I'm going to try and demonstrate to you today, is it shoots a little bit warm. So let's get my airline ready. I'm going to show you, I've got plenty of juice in the tank. It's running at 120 psi, which is usually the standard for this stuff. I'm going to make sure the gun is cocked. I'm going to plug on our airline. This one doesn't like auto either, which is strange because the MP9 one doesn't like auto. I'm not sure why this is. It just stops working. So not sure what that is. Maybe I need to run it in a little bit. But let's chrono this thing, some 0.3s, and I'll show you the main issue with this thing. So some 0.3 gram BBs, we're going to load the chrono on, whack an Evo mag in, charge it ready to go, and here we go. We're at 1.6 joules. 1.584, 1.584, 1.587, 1.599, 1.589, 1.592. So it's very consistent, but we're running just under 1.6 joules. Let's try to do a burst of auto. Locks on empty. Very, very cool. I'll never get tired of that. You just have to be careful. Like you'll see, I've just loaded one in the chamber. So what we're going to do, disconnect the airline. We're going to pop this rear pin out. Because I've had to order a different nozzle for this thing. So we can pull the bolt out. Now, I'm not sure if this is meant to be here. I've seen other videos where that little rubber semicircle thing is in the back here, so you guys will have to let me know about that. And taking the bolt out is relatively simple, or the nozzle out. So what I've ordered is a 1 joule nozzle. I think this is a standard GHK part. So it looks to me like it's just got a restrictor in there. But the issue why I've bought one is because they're glued together or like epoxied together. And I didn't want to break it like pulling it apart. So this is what it is. I believe it's pretty straightforward from the last time I took it apart. So we take this screw off of the spring guide. Does have a little washer on there. We can then loose this off. Be careful because it's got like a little spacer on there as well. And then to get the nozzle out, we need to do a couple of things. We need to remove the 2 stoppers here on the sides, which usually is easier said than done. And when you've got a little screw underneath there. So was it a 2mm? Was it a 1.5? It's not a 2mm, it's a 1.5. So we can remove this screw. That spring's going to pop off the thread like that. There's a trick to getting that back in, which I'll show you later. And depending on how you go about this, I mean, to be honest, the first time I did this, I really did struggle to get these little blocks out of the nozzle. So I just took a little screwdriver and just tried to push them out. I can't remember which one got stuck last time, but it was a pain to get out. So this one was easiest. So we get that little stopper out on that side. This side last time was an absolute bugger because it's just really, really tight. Let's get a better screwdriver for this. Can't particularly remember which tool I used. But you basically just have to get something under this little tab and lever it out. Did have a little screwdriver. What have I done with it? There it is. So we need to get underneath it and then just push it out like that. Now you can leave it there like that, which you probably should do, but pulling these off, you tend to like mar them up. So this is a standard bolt, the standard nozzle even, you'll see it's wide open. I've seen videos from the past where people have like drilled a grub screw in here to create an end pass almost, but we're just going to see how we do with this 1 joule nozzle and the results that we get. So let's lube up these O-rings like that. Switch to the grease, grease up these channels like so. And then how do we get this thing in? Well, the way that I did it is I got a bit of very like thin wire. This is like very thin gauge wire, and what I did was I put that through the spring like so. Doesn't really matter how long this is, as long as it's long enough to go through. I just don't want to chop this wire down in case I need to use it. We take the two ends like that. You've got the hole, which is the lower one here, and I'm basically just going to thread those in like that, so they both come through, and just prime them ready. There's probably a million ways to do this, but this is the way that I figured out to do it, or the only way in my head that I figured out how to do it. So we're going to line up the nozzle to go in, and we're basically just going to use that wire to pull that nozzle spring. Because it's under tension, you can't just push the nozzle in and it line up. You have to pull it out quite far. So we can pull it out, line it up with the gap, figure out which way the spring goes. I think it's that way. We can take our little screw, and once we get this lined up, you see there, so get it lined up with the hole. Just make sure we keep it rotated correctly. We put the screw through the spring, we get it started, and then we can just pull the wire out. I don't know what gauge this wire is, so don't ask me. It's just thin stuff. You could use pretty much anything. Might be able to use like a paper clip or something. And now we can just tighten that down, and the nozzle is good to go. So we can push these tabs in the side now, like that. Don't want to push them in too tight. Now with the other nozzle, I did have to work it quite a bit for it to loosen up. They're very sticky, sort of sticky nozzles. They don't like to return all that much. So I'm going to work this in, and then just put a bit more oil to seep into the O-rings here. I think the sealing on these nozzles is actually pretty damn good. But that's pretty much how it was out the box. I mean, they probably could do with a stronger spring up top, but there we go. We take our spring guide, we put the spacer on first, we then put the bolt on. With the bolt on, I did have to replace the washer that goes behind this screw because the original one fell in half. when I pulled it off. It's obviously a very weak washer. I've just put a steel washer on there. I'm not going to thread lock this on just in case I need to take it off and adjust it. And there's the bolt rebuilt. So now, to slide this back in, I'm going to put a bit of extra grease on these rails here because they do look a little bit dry. I have greased up the inside from last time I did it. Push the bolt back in, and hopefully now we're not too freaking low that it becomes an issue. Let's tap that all the way home, like that. Now, we have got a round in the chamber, so we need to remember that. We can connect our airline up. I'm just going to get rid of that chambered round. That did seem very weak. So I think we're going to... I'd be surprised if we don't go below a joule. Because this just seems to me like one of them guns that's going to be a little bit problematic, but... Let's see. The proof is in the pudding, I suppose. So 0.3 grams, 120 psi. Oh, pretty much on the money. 0.95 joules on a 0.3. Pretty consistent, to be honest. So I call that a win. We don't need to be, you know, entirely on the dot on a joule. This makes us pretty much safe to use it anywhere. Makes full auto completely unusable though. It's just these TAPP hybrid lowers just don't like full auto for whatever reason. The MP9's the same. Might be able to quickly show you this here. This was doing some freaky stuff the other day. So be careful I don't push the fitting. So the MP9 would work on semi. You watch this work now. That's what you get on full auto. It's just unusable. So I'm not sure what's going on with these lowers. Now I'm pretty sure the AAP one was absolutely fine. Let's just double check this one and get the bloody airline on. The AAP one works absolutely fine. Just the rest seem to not want to work at all. I don't know. I presume it's something going on here with how the air expands. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Hear that? Like, that's on full auto. I don't understand what it's doing. Now that's working, and what I'm doing is I'm just pulling the trigger very hard. But then it's just on semi-auto it's fine. So TAPP, if it just so happens that you are listening, please help a brother out, because I am not really aware of why they're doing this. I'm pretty sure about 120 is the happy PSI. Now with the MP9, I tried it from everything from 80 to I think it was like 130, and it just nothing helped. There is another little issue with this, but I'll wait and speak to them about it. I don't want to say anything else, but this is very much a massive pain to fit. I have recorded the video of how to install it, so maybe I'll upload that, and then if I've gotten wrong anywhere, TAPP can let me know. So this thing now is site legal, I suppose. I did, with the MP9, I did think initially when I fired it that it was the downgrade valve I had fitted. So I thought that might be messing up the airflow. So I took out the downgrade valve, and it's now got the original valve in there, the original rocket valve. So it should be as the MP9's come out the box. Now, I had high hopes for this. To be honest, the semi-auto works fine. It was just the whole reason why you would go for such like an expensive like conversion kit like this is just to be able to run full auto. That to me is the sole reason why you would do it, because you run in full auto, it's on high pressure air, you can just let rip and have fun with your mates. So we'll see. Maybe they'll come on and say, no, this kit is not compatible with the downgraded valve nozzle. But if I don't do that, there's nowhere in the UK I can run it at 1.6 joules. So thanks for tuning in. It's a little just update video of what's going on with this hybrid. And you have to let me know what you think down in the comments below. TAPP if you're listening, help a brother out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you can. There's a link in the description for the Agri Precision Discord. Get involved with the community. And as always, from me and Bench, we'll be seeing you in the next one.